What is up, everyone? We are at deck number 2 of the top 5 new brews, and we have your boy Tiny Bones in this one. So let's take a look. Welcome back again, my friends. This is the top 5 new brews for OTJ. This is a mono black skeletons deck, and you might be thinking, skeletons? Are there enough skeletons as standard to make a skeletons deck? Uh, You'd be surprised, actually. There's a lot more skeletons than you think, and there's even a surprising skeleton lore that you probably didn't know about. So let's take a look. All right, so starting with the one drops, we got Cut Down, of course, classic. We have the new Forsaken Miner, a one drop that's a 2/2 that you can recur it by committing crimes and only costs 1 black to return to the battlefield, not even your hand to the battlefield. So that is really cheap and really easy to bring back. Just kill something with a cut down, you get a miner back for free. Of course, we are playing Tiny Bones, as I mentioned. Tiny Bones the Pickpocket is a really sweet one-drop skeleton that has Death Touch, and whenever you deal combat damage to a player, you get to cast cards from their graveyard. So your opponent really wants to kill this and stop you from getting that. We are also playing 3 of the Bones Joins Up. This is a legendary enchantment, and essentially is a discard spell. The opponent discards a card, but whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield, you get to commit a crime, make them opponent's mill, or yourself, or both, and the opponent loses 1 life. So the fact that you're committing crimes every time you play a legendary creature means you get to bring back your Forsaken Miner every time you play a legendary creature, and that is pretty sweet. So let's continue on with the 2 drops. We have Case of the Stash Skeletons. You get a 2/1 skeleton with Suspect, but can't block, but it's pretty good because it has Menace. If it does end up getting killed, then you get to suddenly fetch for any card in your deck for 2 mana. That is very sweet. And you'll see that because we have Skeleton Lords, they'll be more likely to want to kill your creature. Of course, we're also playing a lot of the removals in black. That's the advantage of being in black. And also it works great with the Forsaken Miner to keep bringing him back over and over and over again. In the 3 mana slot, we have Corpses of the Lost, 2 and a black. So this is the sneaky Skeleton Lord. Gives your skeletons +1 and haste. So, you bring back the skeletons. It doesn't come in tapped. It doesn't come in tapped, guys. So it's going to have +1 in haste for each Corpse of the Lost you have on the battlefield. So, sometimes it might come in as like a 4/2 with haste, and you might even get like 2 or 3 of them to come back at the same time. So that's going to be very sweet. Your Tiny Bones can have haste sometimes, which means you're going to get in there, you're going to get the card from the graveyard, and they can't stop you. All right, so that's all very sweet. This, of course, also makes a 2/2 black skeleton creature token. And at the end of your turn, if you descended, you may pay 1 life. If you do, return this card to your hand. So, if the opponent kills some of our creatures, or if we use our Tiny Bones to mill ourselves, we could descend and, or if we sacrifice our skeleton stash, we will descend and we'll get this back and we'll get to make more skeletons. We're also playing the Haunted Bone Brute, 2 and a black, 6/2 with Menace. When it dies, each opponent loses 3 life. You can also disguise it for 3 and flip it up, and it negates the downside, which is that if you play it on its face, the target opponent gets 2/1/1 white dog creature tokens. So that part's a little bit sad, but maybe you can play this when you have a cut down in hand or something so that the opponent won't be able to just block your Bone Brute, and it can come in as a hasty creature with +1, 7 damage, swinging in, unblockable if you have a cut down. So that is pretty sweet. But if not, it's just a decent card, coming in at 3, flip up for 2, opponent loses 3 life if it dies. Overall, just a pretty good skeleton card. And then we are playing this one. This is a little bit strange. Lord Skitter doesn't have a lot of synergy with the deck, but you'll see why we need this card. So Lord Skitter, Whenever another rat enters the battlefield, exile up to one target creature card from an opponent's graveyard. So you get to target a card from the opponent's graveyard every turn, which, if you don't know, that's a crime. So essentially, we get free crimes every single turn. So that is very sweet. We also get the rat tokens, which are nice. They can't block, but if you get enough of them, you can start to swing in with them and do some serious damage. Um, and then why do we need to have crimes every turn for free? That's because we got this big 5-drop creature, Gisa, the Hellraiser. Gisa seems like pretty sweet card. So for 5 mana for 4/4 with Ward 2, it's not just Ward 2, sorry, it's Ward 2 and pay 2 life. So the opponent wants to kill this with Go for the Throat. They have to pay 4 mana and 2 life to kill Gisa. So they're already paying a huge cost to get rid of this. On top of that, skeletons and zombies you control get +1/+1 and have menace. So all of your tokens you've created are going to be bigger and they have menace, meaning that they can't really be blocked that easily. And then whenever you commit a crime, you create 2 tapped 2/2 black and blue zombie rogue creature tokens. It only triggers once a turn, but that's fine. So let's say you get Lord Skitter out on turn 4. Turn 5, you play Gisa. You get your free trigger off of Lord Skitter. Now you get 2/2 zombies that are going to have +1/+1 and menace. Pretty good, right? Of course, if we can get to play with Cut Down, that works also. Tiny Bones joins up also triggers off of Gisa because it's legendary, so you can commit a crime right away from that as well. So lots of triggering, lots of crimes going on, lots of zombies and skeletons going on. All right, so that is the main synergies. So we got 2 lords, essentially corpses and Gisa. We have lots of draining the opponent. This makes them lose 3 life. If they pay the ward for Gisa, they lose life. Whenever a legendary comes in, they're going to lose a life. So you do have quite a bit of reach going on. And if you need to find your Gisa, you can sack your case of the stashed skeleton. And so it's not, there's a lot of ways that they all work together pretty nicely. Of course, we also get to play some decent lands, Cavern of Lost Souls, or sorry, just called Cavern of Souls. My bad. But we can name Skeleton with that and play most of the cards with that, and they'll be uncounterable. We also get to play Field of Ruin because it's the mono black deck. And Field of Ruin targets the opponent's land, so that's a crime. So we can bring back our little guys. We can trigger our Gisa. We also are playing some of the Dimir Prime lands to deal 1 damage to the opponent and commit a crime. That's another way to go with Gisa or to get your miners back. And then Takanuma, we've got 2 Takanumas as well to get stuff back from our graveyard if the opponent's killing it. So all in all, pretty sick black deck. I think one of the key parts really is this Forsaken Miner just coming back over and over and over again. It's going to be so annoying for the opponent. And as long as you don't instantly die to an aggro deck, you can stabilize with a bunch of your bigger creatures and your tokens that you're going to be generating. So that's the hope. And maybe you can outpace them with all the drain you're going to be doing as well. That is, again, deck number 2, Mono Black Skeletons. If nothing else, it'll be very fun. You get to play Tiny Bones. So what's not to like with that? Hope you can, you're still looking forward to OTJ. Go out there, have some fun. And until next time, see ya.